You know, even though I do the same looks all the time, I still get giddy when it comes to doing holiday glittery makeup, and today is no exception. I am getting ready this afternoon for a little holiday event tonight, and obviously I wanted to get ready with you guys, even though you've definitely seen me do something like this before, but I simply had to attempt to recreate this look because, I mean, Elsa Hosk, if I'm pronouncing that wrong, I'm so sorry. But she's a glorious model. She's so stunning and makes me want to chop my hair into a bob every single day. But she posted this look a little while ago for her birthday and I gasped out loud. And it is just so simple and so beautiful yet so effective and just glowing, and just look at her. Oh, look at this makeup. I just simply had to recreate it. And blessed be Leah Darcy Makeup, the gal who did the makeup, actually posted not everything, but she did post some little tidbits of the makeup products that she used. So we'll just put them right here. I was creeping through the comments, and instead of buying a new eyeshadow palette, I thought that the Makeup by Mario palette could give us a similar-ish look instead of buying a new Natasha Denona palette. But what I did do is actually pick up the lip and the cheek product she used, because I'd never used this lip liner and I was curious. So the Anastasia Beverly Hills Cool Brown, and then the Milk Makeup Rally allegedly is the blush color that she used. So I did pick up 2 things to do this look. The rest I have shopped in my stash, and let's try to recreate it. So zooming right in here, it looks like we've got this lovely little, very simple kind of gray cut crease going on, some lovely shimmer in the eye, very much the vibes that we're loving lately, and a simple liquid black liner, which is always a fun, adventure for us. So I've done my skincare, I've also done my brows. We're gonna start with the eyes, just go right in, so that if we make any mistakes, we can just wipe it all away and we won't destroy the rest of our face. So I'm gonna start by applying some of my concealer. This is the Tower 28 concealer. Let me just zoom you in, I'm so sorry. There you are. Gonna use this as a base because the last time, oh my gosh, when I filmed the holiday glam with the drugstore makeup, and when I didn't put the base on my eyes, I was like, oh, you know what? In my mind, I was like, I'm gonna let the natural like darkness, the natural depth on my eyelids from all the veins and the purple and the blue just do its thing. I regretted it instantly, and I wish I had done a little base. So we're not skipping it this time. I am starting with a little bit of concealer, so please forgive me for that. We won't do it again, but I am going to use this to help with some of the discoloration rolling around. And then I think I'm just going to keep this brush going actually, and I'm not sure which color I'm going to feel, but I'm going to start with this one because it's that nice gray toned lighter brown, and I'm going to run that in the crease, keeping in mind that the photos are using flash photography, so it's always going to be a little bit more blown out than how it looks in real life. So even if you feel like it's a little bit dark, that just means it's going to show up nicely if you're taking flash photos. I'm blending it on the crease, but I'm also just taking a little bit onto the lid too and just blending that towards the lash line. We can clean this up later, but just getting a good base of this on. I honestly love this color. I think it's such a pretty eyeshadow. As far as cool tone shades go, this one's it. I always love to keep a clean brush on hand so I can just go through in between each stage and just blend it out and make sure that everything is nice and soft. I don't know if this is gonna ruin the vibe, so I'm gonna start really, really small, but I do just wanna go into this slightly deeper shade right here. It is a little bit deeper, just right in the crease right there. I feel like we could just use the gray, but I don't know, I'm just gonna try it. I'm gonna try to take this just right here on the outer bit, and we can always just kind of blend it away and pretend it didn't happen if we don't like it, but I do just want to intensify this section of the crease right there. Just a little doot-doot-doot. And then I'll go back in with the brush that we used with the gray shadow and just blend on top of that. Okay, now for the shimmer, shimmer, glimmer, glimmer of the inner corner. Starting with this lovely cream, we're gonna take a flat shader brush and we're gonna carve out this intersection, and we're gonna take it above the crease. So I'm just going right, whoop, just kind of creating that little line. You could totally do this like with concealer if you wanted to really make it sharp. I still want it to be a little bit softer and wispier, but see how it just like creates that little line? That line is very, very apparent in the photo. If you can see, it looks like they took that shadow like all in the crease and then just went whoop with a little cream shadow. So that's what I'm just trying to recreate here. It always looks so funny when you do this and you have nothing else on your face. You're like, I look like an alien. All right, now for the glitter. Honestly, one of my favorite palettes for the glitter. The glitters in here, specifically the middle one, are so stunning. But I am gonna start with this one here, this lighter champagne. And we can always add on top if we want it to be a little bit more glittery. But I'm gonna start by doing a little layer of this just because it could be just a very, very soft champagne. And I think that could be very nice. I'm actually gonna switch to the brush because I don't wanna get this all over the crease. So just patting that little champagne all over where we just applied that cream shadow. Oh, it's so pretty, so pretty. Okay, what I've just decided that I think we could do, it's not like this look very much, but we could also just take a little bit of this center shimmer and just pat it right in the middle, just to like almost blend the two shades together. This one's a little bit darker, it's also a little bit more punchy. So if we just put a little bit of this right in the middle, that's nice, I like. Go back in with the blender brush always and just run on top of that. We're running. Now I'm gonna take a clean shader brush and I'm just gonna clean up the bottom and kind of try to determine where I'm gonna map out the black liner. It's always easier for me on my left side, and then I feel like it never matches my right. Like I always do it at different angles and I don't know why. I'm like, am I blind? Like I don't know why it's always so uneven, but I try my best. This just isn't good enough. Before we get to the black liner, I'm gonna take a little bit of a nude pencil and just put that on the inner waterline. It looks like there's a little bit of brightening in there. So I'll just do the same. We'll do the rest of the lower lash line after the fact. But for now, let's go in and do the black liner. Ugh. It does just look like a black liner. It doesn't look like there's even any liner smudged in the waterline. It's just a good, clean little liner there. This is the Hindash Hero line. Let's go. You guys know I can't talk through this. I just have to do it. So BRB, bear with me. My eyes instantly water. Instantly. It's like they know it's coming. They know it's coming. The stress of a liner, I tell ya. Now I'm really sorry to do this and even suggest going into another palette, but I'm just gonna dip into my other palette that I have here. I need a black. It's the one thing this palette is missing. If it had a black, it would be perfect, because this is kind of bleeding a little bit. It's doing a little bit of leakage into our perfect creamy white sparkles. So I just need to take a little bit of a black shadow just to set this in, or else it's gonna keep moving and that's gonna be sad. So we don't want that. So I'm just gonna pat a little black shadow on top of this. All right, y'all, I'm gonna curl my lashes. I'm just gonna do a little cleanup under the eyes here. Just a little bit. And then for the most part, the rest is left quite clean. We might put a little shadow under there after, but for the most part, it's just pretty clean and breezy. Okay, we've made it through thus far. Let's move on to the base. I've already done my skincare, so I'm just gonna go straight into the primer. I'm just gonna use a little bit of the Shiseido blurring primer because I just feel a little something around my nose and under my eyes. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of this and put it right into the center of my face here. It'll blur that out and hopefully help with some of the oiliness that I get on my nose when I am nervous at events and sweating. I'm also wearing a sweater, so this is preventative. And then my go-to little foundation for fancy events, the Dior Forever Skin Glow. I'm actually gonna use this with a beauty blender because it's actually still a little bit deeper than my natural skin tone. So I'm just gonna try to apply a very, very light layer of this around my face. I have a fresh beauty blender too, and there's nothing better. There's nothing better than the feeling of a fresh little beauty blender. I could have applied this with a brush. I actually really like to do that, like buff the foundation in with a brush and then blend it out with the beauty blender. That can have a really nice effect too. Gotta take that down my neck as well. Trying very, very hard to not get this on my white sweater. And when you're wearing your hair up, don't forget to apply this around the ears too, because that can look really funny and like really glaringly pale in some photos. But if you don't take any photos, then it doesn't matter, right? Now we're gonna utilize some underpainting here. I'm gonna take my Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Transforming Skin Enhancer, which just forever gets the most gunks. I clean this out all the time. I'm constantly wiping all the little fluffies and gunkies away, and it's just always... Anyway, do a little bit of sculpting with this. Sculpt out those cheekbones and bring that right up into the hairline, which we're gonna talk about later. Sculpt the other cheekbone. Now I'm not gonna lie to you, I thought that the sculpting on her nose was actually quite evident. Like you can literally see the line, and that kind of made me feel better about when I do it, because I feel like I can always see the line of color when I try to sculpt my nose, and that made me feel a little bit, it just made me feel lighter. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm not the only one. So we're just gonna add a little bit of this onto the nose as well. I'm just using a tiny little brush to just do some sculpting on the nose. And then let's go back in with our concealer. This is the Tower 28 concealer, the shade DTLA. And now we're going to bring some highlight back and do a couple of extra bits of concealing. And I'm gonna take this line down the nose. Like, I can never draw a straight line. Oh my God. I try to hold my breath and I just can't do it. Can't win them all. I'm gonna bring this right up into the eyes, just a little bit, and then address this under eye bag down here. These bags around my mouth. And a little bit of extra concealer on my spots down here. So then I'm gonna go in with a brush. This is a tiny little Katie Jean Hughes Spectrum brush, number 10. I'm gonna really softly blend this out around the eye so I don't mess any of the shadow up. I'm pretty much just like petting it. I just pet it and I go, oh, good concealer, good little concealer. Tell me you watched Salad Fingers growing up without telling me you watched Salad Fingers growing up. And then for the rest of my face, I'm gonna switch to my slightly fluffier brush. This is the Makeup by Ariel Morphe brush. This is the A14 brush, and I just beg, please come out with this brush outside of the set. I don't want the whole set, but I do want a backup of this brush. It's just so good. The texture is unlike any brush texture I have ever felt before. It's so soft, it blends out so perfectly. It's just a delight. Once we're all done blending out, I'm just gonna do one final little fluffy fluff with our big brush and make sure that there are no lines anywhere. Let's try this little blush, the shade Rally from Milk. It looks like she's got the blush like very, very much concentrated up here. It's like across the face, less angular, kind of giving that little baby doll vibe. So I'm gonna take my Refro 4 brush and we're gonna apply this along the tops of the cheeks. Really focus it like into the center of the cheek, like she has in the photo, and bring that back, and we're also gonna bring it across the nose. This is also a very pretty color. Ooh. I feel like I've definitely tried this blush color before. I don't remember, but I want to remember because it's a very, very pretty pink. I'm also just taking a little bit of that on the lips too, just to get a little base. It looks like there's some kind of deeper pink there. We'll get to that obviously when we talk about the lip, but I feel like there's a little something, something. I'm gonna use the Benefit Professional Setting Spray to spray this on my face. Oh, nothing feels better than a fresh bottle of this. I know I'm jumping all over the place here, sorry, but I'm also just gonna set my brows in. This is the 24-hour brow gel from Benefit. I was having a hot minute with like the slicked, feathered, laminated brow. And for my kind of winter feeling, I think I'm just going for this, just like a softer brow, I guess. A little bit more natural. All right, I'm gonna use my Givenchy loose powder. This is the shade number 3. I'm gonna take my little triangle puffy puff, just give this a little dab. I feel like this look is very much going for that like glam, very soft pink and brightened look under the eyes. So we're going to an event, so let's bring on the extra glam. Just use that to set underneath the eyes. Can you guys see the difference on camera? It's so good. Every time I use this powder, I'm like, wow, it's so good. And then without taking any new product, I'm just using the rest of the product that's sitting on the puffy puff and going around the rest of the face, just to really, really softly set it in. Just continuing to jump around here, I'm gonna go back to the Makeup by Mario palette and I'm gonna mix these 2 shades together. It looks like there's something a little bit softer. Like it could even be, now that I'm looking at it, it actually kind of looks pink, so I lied. I'm gonna take these 2. She could have very well taken some of the blush underneath the eyes, but I feel weird about taking the cream under now that I've like set it in. But it does have like a very, very soft kind of pink hue under there. Could just be a trick of the light, but I kind of love the idea. I don't know if I would have ever put that there. That's very pretty. Okay, go. All right, now I'm devastated because when I was trying to link, I was just giving like a love speech on my Tom Ford Badass Mascara in the first vlog of the month, and I was trying to link it and I couldn't find it anywhere. Sold out everywhere on every website, and I was like, surely not. Surely they would not discontinue this mascara. I don't, like, why? Why does this keep happening? Why do brands keep getting rid of their best products? This is devastating news to me, guys. I don't know how to take this, but for those of you who I led astray with this, I don't know what to say. I was so excited to pull this back out. I was like, oh, you know what? I forgot. I just love this mascara so much. It's my best volumizing mascara, blah, blah, blah. Nowhere to be found. Like, they better just be rebranding. They better be changing the packaging or something, because I swear. I'm gonna put a little bit of this on just because I don't feel like putting lashes on. I'm so not opposed to doing lashes, especially if I'm getting ready for some special occasion or event. It's not that big of an event, okay? For my wedding, I shall sit through the torture of applying individual lashes, but for right now, we're just gonna stick with mascara. So I'm just taking a little bit of this to pump up the volume. I mean, I didn't even have time to buy backups. I just wasn't warned. I wasn't given any warning. Woe is me. Woe is us. Now, speaking of mascaras and buying backups, I did pick up another one of my Estee Lauder mascaras because this one is just fully transfer proof. And this one's not, especially when I'm doing my drive downtown and I'm just blinking all the long day. I am gonna go over with a little layer of this because it'll just help lock it in. This is like the most transfer proof mascara I've tried that isn't waterproof. And because the wand is so thin, it's just very easy to get right into the inner corners of the eyes, which I can't do that with my big bulky volume mascara ones. So I just wanted that extra volume, so I just started with that one, but I'm going to finesse the lashes with this, and I'll just do a little touch of this on the lower lashes too. It doesn't look like she has a whole lot, but there's definitely something on the lower lashes. And then I just run my finger on top of them after, because I do get a lot of smudgery whenever I do my lower lashes. But sometimes it's so cute. It adds to that like baby doll look, which I love. Let's talk lips, fam. So we're starting with that Anastasia Beverly Hills Cool Brown lip pencil. Allegedly, this is what she used according to her comments. It's very dark, but the liner is very prominent on her lips, which isn't a look that I go for so much. I usually really try to blend the lip liner out and make it less apparent. And because it's so dark, it's also not forgiving if you're messing up your lip liner like I do all the time. So I'm gonna try to be very clean and precise with this. How did that? Now it says allegedly that she used this lip pencil and the Rhode Ribbon lip treatment, which I love. I'm so thrilled about. It's amazing. But I feel like there has to be something. There has to be some other lip there because it's way too opaque to not be something else. So I grabbed my little Victoria Beckham Pixie lipstick and I'm just gonna run a little bit of this on to create a base. Wow. You know, it just does not look the same on my face as it does on Elsa. Also, my hair's up, which I don't know why I keep doing this when my hair's up. This is so a hair down look. You guys know what I mean when I say that. There's looks that are good for hair up, looks that are good for hair down. I feel like this really intense lip liner for me and this more exaggerated eye is just, it's a hair down look, you know? It's just not, I don't know. I don't know if I can get behind that. It's a little intense for me. I'd love to know your thoughts. I'd love to know your thoughts on this kind of style of lippity lip. Okay, well, technically that's the makeup. I'll do one final little spritz of this. We'll see how I feel about the lip. I lied. I'm gonna take a little bit of the Victoria Beckham highlight and just hit the tops of the cheekbones with that. I feel like I need a little bit of extra glow. This is the Pearl Reflect highlight. And then, okay, I saw someone comment this recently. Obviously, I must have made a comment about my little bald spots, my very uneven hairline. And someone was like, why don't you just fill it in with a shadow or fill it in with a powder? And I was like, I totally forgot that I had this Color Wow powder. Dark Blonde Root Cover Up. 100% forgot I had this. It's been sitting in my hair jar for who knows how long. And I was like, oh, you know what? I do have one of those powders. Let's pull that out. It's been a minute. So I'm just gonna try to fill this in and make my hairline look a little bit more full. Could this be a disaster? Yes. Yes, it could. Oh, it's also like very warm next to my hair right now. Might have to get an updated color for this. Too late to turn back now. Listen, I love you guys a lot, and I hope you're not too disappointed in me, but I simply cannot live with this lip. We tried, it's cute, love the idea, but it's a little much for me. I just gotta smudge in this line. It's gonna be a no for me on that one. Let's dive into the NYX Nude Beige, which so many of you keep telling me that this shade has been discontinued. I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? It's still listed on the Ulta website. I'm gonna order them. I'm gonna order them and see if they're the same. We'll compare it and then we'll go back in with ribbon and just do a little bit of this on top. So a little softer lip. And that, my friends, is the finished makeup look. thanks for getting ready with me today, guys. I'm gonna go boogie on over to the holiday party. I'm gonna insert a little clip, a little phone clip here of my outfit if you care to see it. Obviously, I am rocking the red bag, my little pop of color, my favorite thing to wear to any winter event, truly. And I'm wearing a sweater, so the day is good. Oh my gosh, also, okay, we're just gonna pretend like this pop-up is still here. I have to talk to you about these boots. These boots are from H&M. I ordered them because, long story long, I went to the photo shoot with Harmony for Joyco, and the stylist, fabulous stylist, had put me in these H&M boots. I went on a mad hunt for these boots. Couldn't find them anywhere, but I found these boots on H&M. The sexiest boots I've ever put on my body. I'm obsessed. Did I need to buy a third pair of black boots? Allegedly, yes, because wow. And just in case, like, listen, I'm just telling you about it because just in case they sell out, I'm going to link them below. These boots are stunning. Yeah, that's all I'll say. So that's the outfit. This is the outfit I'm wearing. I hope you guys enjoyed getting ready with me today. Thanks so much for being here, and I will see you all tomorrow for a new Lenmas video. Bye!